Hi teacher, good evening. My name is Jean-Pierre Ramirez. I hope you're doing very well. The topic of this video is about the class number 7. For the 7th class, I decided to choose the topic present perfect tense with some words which are since, for, and ever. Students' grade is for first baccalaureate, students' level is elementary, and about the objectives or goals for this class are that learners will be able to identify the present perfect tense. Also, learners will be able to properly express statements in this present perfect tense. Furthermore, learners will be able to recognize the verbs in their three forms. And finally, learners will be able to state their own examples using the present perfect tense. So those were the goals or objectives for this class. About the methodology and strategies, I decided to choose the methods, the grammar translation, the audiolingual method, and the communicative language teaching. Those were the methods used in this class. About the strategies, I decided to choose the total physical response strategy per an individual work. Those were the strategies used for this class. For the anticipatory set, students will be asked to watch and listen a short video about the present perfect tense. In that video, there will be an explanation, examples, and so on about the present perfect tense, obviously. About the main teaching input, first, students will be given a clear explanation about the topic. I will write some examples of the present perfect tense using the three forms, which are the affirmative, the negative, and questions. And also, I will explain three words which are ever, since, and for. And then I will translate the words, I will translate the examples, so that I will be using the grammar translation method. Once I have finished explaining the grammar and so on, the verbs with the three forms also will be explained and introduced to the students. The students will have to listen and repeat the words or verbs, but also will have to perform the activity or the actions of the verb. That will be the total physical response. After that, I will have students to make their own examples in their notebooks using the previous words, for, since, or ever. Students will have to form an equal number of statements using since and for. And when they finish, they will have to share their opinions. They will have to read their examples aloud. The students will have to make, for instance, for examples using since and for examples using for. Then, another video will be shown. The students will be asked to listen and repeat the statements in that video several times in order to practice the grammar. And that's the audiolingual method. In that video, there will be several structures, several examples in an affirmative way, negative, and question, and students will be asked to repeat it. Again, here, students will be asked to think a question with ever. And when they feel they are ready, they will make a circle in front of the class, and the first student asks his or her question to the student next to him or her. The other student will answer and ask his or her question to the other student, and so on. The activity will be over when all the students have asked and answered the question. Here I will be using the communicative language teaching. And for example, this student will ask the other student, have you ever eaten pizza? Have you ever eaten pizza? That student will answer, and the second student will ask another question to the other student. That student will answer, and once he or she has answered, he or she will ask his or her question to the other student, and so on. So finally, students will be asked to write 3 things they have accomplished in their lives. Again, they will have to share their answers to the class. For example, they will say, I have learned to drive a car, I have traveled to different countries, I have met a lot of people in my life, and things like that. They will have to share their accomplished. About the modeling, the repetition of the phrases and words, the use of grammatical structures, the interaction and communication among students, and also through cooperative work and body language, and all those elements will help students acquire knowledge and information about the topic more easily and effectively. About the guide practice, for the guide practice, students will be shown another video, and then they will be asked to choose the correct option. I will help them answer only the first question, and then it will be a student's time or a student's turn. About the independent practice, for the independent practice, I decide to dictate students some sentences, and students will have to write them individually, obviously, in their notebook. I will repeat the activity, but in the second time, I will dictate examples in Spanish, and students will have to write them in English. For the assessment, students will have an oral test. They will be evaluated orally. They will be asked to go to the board and appropriately say at least 4 statements using the words for and since. They will only have one opportunity. They will have to say 4 statements, 4, at least 4. If they want to say 6 or 5, much better. About the closing review and follow-up, the class will be over by giving learners a quick feedback about the topic. Quickly, one more time, they will be shown the grammar, the words, since, for, and never. There will be examples of present perfect tense, affirmative statement, negative statement, and questions. About the didactic materials or supplementary materials, the materials I decide to use for this class were a laptop, were the computer, were the markers, and were the blackboard. I always use the computer and the TV in order to show students the videos or the pictures or the charts. And the markers and the blackboard will be used for students to practice and make their examples. And also in the materials I include 3 videos. One video is for making students practice grammatical structures, statements in an affirmative, negative way, and also in questions. That was a short video. The other video is something similar, and the other video is also something similar. For this class, I didn't decide to choose pictures, as you notice, or PowerPoint presentation, because in this class I'm focusing more on grammar. So I want students to learn a little grammar about present perfect. So that's why I didn't include pictures or the PowerPoint presentation for this class, because most of the class is designed or focused on grammar. Also, another aspect are considered, but most of the part is focused on grammar. So teacher, I hope you like the video and enjoy it. Sorry for the interruptions and noisy. I hope you like the video. So See you soon on the next video. Goodbye and have a nice night.